Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. On behalf of organizing committee, I, Neha Shrotriya, coordinator of this 5-day faculty development program on advancing research methodology through scientific tools and artificial intelligence, jointly organized by Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, Surat, Purnima College of Engineering, Jaipur, Nexus University, South Africa, Research and Development Cell, PCE Jaipur, MedTech Thinking Foundation, Fazlika India. Welcome all the dignitaries, all the participants, coordinators, conveners to this session. This is our day 5 and the session 8 of this FDP. And today's session chair is with us, Dr. Dhanraj Sharma, Department of Finance, Financial Administration. Let me introduce Dr. Dhanraj Sharma. Dr. Dhanraj Sharma is an esteemed assistant professor in the Department of Financial Administration at the School of Management, Central University of Punjab, holding a PhD in Commerce from Aligarh Muslim University. Dr. Sharma's academic journey has been marked by excellence, further supported by his MCom degree in Accounting and Finance, along with a UGC JRF certification. With a career dedicated to academia, Dr. Sharma has been serving as an assistant professor at the Central University of Punjab since January 2018, where he imparts his extensive knowledge in his field of financial administration. Prior to this, he worked as a postdoctoral fellow at Aligarh Muslim University under the UGC Dr. S. Radhakrishnan Postdoctoral Fellowship in Humanities and Social Sciences. Dr. Sharma's research interests are diverse and include areas such as mutual funds, market anomalies, corporate governance, and financial performances. He successfully completed various research projects, notably the project titled Performance Evaluation of Indian Mutual Fund Industry, an application of conditional and unconditional models funded under research seed money grants. His contribution to academia extend beyond teaching and research. Dr. Sharma is actively involved as a reviewer for esteemed journals such as in the Science and Emerald. He is a lifetime member of a prominent academic association, including the Indian Commerce Association (ICA), the Indian Economic Metrics Society, and the Indian Accounting Association (IAA). Through his career, Dr. Sharma has been recognized for his outstanding contributions. He received the Best Teacher Award at Central University of Punjab in February 2020 and has been honored with several including Best Paper Award in international conferences. His publication span across reputed journals, showcasing his profile research output. Beyond his academic, Dr. Sharma is deeply involved in institutional building and curricular development. He actively contributes to various committees and boards within the university. So, I request to invite Dr. Dhanraj Sharma for this session to chair this session. And Dr. Sharma, if I am audible to you, you can please start your session. And this, all the participants, I want to inform you that this is our last session in this FDP. This is the session 10. And now I request to Dr. Dhanraj Sharma, sir, so please start your session.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So I hope all the participants enjoyed all the session of this faculty development program and hope it will contribute for your research and academic journey in the future also. So now I'm going to share my PPT with you. So my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So thank you for the organizers of the faculty development program for inviting me as a resource person. And in this session, we are going to talk about the research proposal development and funding opportunities. So if we talk about the research, so right now you can see that the research is a very prominent area in everywhere. If we talk about the policy making, if we talk about the corporate sector, if we talk about the government, if we talk about the individual also. So research is a very indispensable part of the life, and it is very indispensable part of the society also. If we talk about the National Education Policy 2020, so the major focus is given to the research related aspect. And the policy is also motivating towards the transdiscipline research, interdiscipline research. So the research is now not limited to one domain. Even the research can be conducted in interdiscipline mode also and in transdiscipline mode also. Another very important aspect and the emphasis which is given in the national education policy, that is related to curriculum also, and they introduce the research element in the curriculum. So we can give the example of our university here, that in at master level we introduce one common course which is related to entrepreneurship in every program, and apart from this, the research in the fourth semester, the PG student is going to do only research, internship, and only these activities. So no paper will be there, no course will be there, and the whole semester will be related to research, dissertation. So if we talk about our program MCOM, so the students are they are giving the presentation on the research synopsis during third semester, and the fourth semester is completely related to the research. So we are following this activity from last 2 years, and we got good result also, that the students are through their outcome and finding of the research, they are uh, presenting their papers in the conferences also, and they are publishing their paper in a reputed UGC Care journal also, Scopus journal also. And if we talk about the science students, so they are publishing in the this Web of Science category also. So many universities, they already implemented this activity, and I think in the near future the same thing will be implemented in the other universities also. So it means that the major focus of the policymaker is towards the research, and ultimately through the research we are trying to provide the solution of a problem. So generally, when we are going to start the research, so it is all about finding out the solution of a best solution of a problem. And in our society, you can see that there are so many problems at environmental level also, at social level also, at governance level also, at corporate level also, at institution level also. There are so many problems. And the problem, we can find out the best solution of this problem through the research. So the research is very important. It is very imperative part of the life. Research proposal. So the topic is related to the research proposal. So first of all, we need to see that what is the meaning of research proposal. Research proposal. What the research proposal is all about. In the research proposal, we are trying to provide the plan of research, that future course of action about the research in the proposal. So we can see that as far as the definition which is given by the author in 1997, research proposal is defined as a formal written plan which communicates ideas about a proposed study in order to obtain approval to conduct the study or to seek the funding. Very comprehensive definition which is given about the research proposal. You just see this definition once again. A research proposal is a formal written plan. It means that it is providing the activities of research related to future course of action, which communicates ideas about the proposed study. We are going to propose a study, and it communicates the idea behind the research in order to obtain approval to conduct the study or to seek funding. So through this proposal, we are seeking to obtain the approval to conduct the study. If it is a feasible proposal, if that will be accepted by the agency, so definitely we are going to obtain approval to conduct the study. And we are looking for the funding also, because in order to conduct the research, we require the funds also. So a research proposal is a document containing details about the research which is to be undertaking. It should be self-contained and start with a fundamental inquiry related to the research question and hypothesis on which it is based. The objectives and key questions are fundamental pillars of a research proposal and formal grant application. So whatever the plan we are going to communicate about the research, so it should contain the research problem also, it should contain the objective also, it should contain the hypothesis also. So these are the main pillars of a research proposal. We can also see the key parts of the research proposal. And the key parts of a research proposal, it consists of background and rationale. Second is literature review. Third is objectives of the study. Fourth is methodology. Then expected outcome and implications, estimated budget and time frame. Then details of primary investigator, co-investigator, internal and external collaborators, and finally the references. So in this key parts, the first step is background and rationale. In the background and rationale, we are talking about the concept. We are talking about the conceptualization of any proposal. In this, okay, so as far as the very first step is background and rationale. Background and rationale, we have to provide the whole concept of the research that what we follow. And we have rationale also that is proposal. In the rationale, it is very important to see that what in which area we are going to provide a research proposal. It is very important
Hello, Dhanraj sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking. Dear participants, please wait for 1 minute. Dr. Sharma will rejoin.
Now it is clear?
Yes, sir. Now it's
Okay, thank you.
clear.
And my screen is also visible?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So we are talking about the key parts of the research proposal. In the key parts of the research proposal, the very first step is the background and the rationale. In the background and rationale, we are talking about the statement of problem. So in the statement of problem, as we know that in through the research, we are going to provide the solution of a problem. So solution of a problem. So it should be start with the formulation and identification of the research problem. And in other words, we can say that as a statement of problem. The research question that we are talking about, it should follow the PICOT approach, PICOT. P stand for population, I stand for intervention, C stand for control or comparison group, O stand for outcome, and T stand for time and type of study. So these things should be covered when we are going to find out the statement of problem. So this is very important. And as far as the rationale is concerned, so in the rationale, generally we should connect our research or our proposed study with some theory. And whether we are going to oppose this theory or whether we will be in line with the theory, so our finding will decide that whether it is in line or whether it is opposite to the theory. So in the rationale, we have to provide the suitability and connectivity of our research with the recent theories. The second key part of the research proposal is literature review. So, and this is also very important aspect. The domain in which we are going to conduct the research, in that domain or in that subject, so many researches already conducted. It may be a scenario that the already researches are conducted in that field. So we have to review the studies. And while doing the literature review, we have to see that the international studies also, we have to see the national studies also. And through the review literature, we have to provide the research gap. Now, this research gap, it means that how your proposal, your proposed study will be different from the earlier studies conducted. So that will be a gap. So that gap you can find on the basis of review literature. Then next very important thing is the objectives of the study. So in the objectives of the study, what ultimately we want to do? What is our main aim? What is our goal to conduct the research? So it should be defined in the objectives. Now, on the basis of the objective, we can draw or we can make our hypothesis also. And as far as the hypothesis is concerned, so this is a assumption, this is a this is a presumptions that we are going into, that we are taking into consideration. So these are the statements that we are going to test, and it is known as a hypothesis. So on the basis of the objective, we can make our hypothesis also. There should be a connectivity among these. What the research questions we are talking about, what the research gap we are talking about, what the objectives and the hypothesis that we are considering. It should be in line. Means whatever the research questions we are making in the form of a statement of problem, the gap should be made in the line in connection with this statement of problem. That on the basis of gap, we should formulate our objective, and on the basis of objective, we should frame our hypothesis also. So after objectives and hypothesis, we can make the methodology. This is also a very important step in the research proposal. Just 1 minute.
You are not audible.
Okay, so after the objectives, the next is the methodology. In the methodology, we are going to answer the 5W and 1H. The 5W refers to who, what, when, where, why, and 1H refers to how. So this methodology deals with ultimately this approach, that is 5W and 1H. In the methodology, we can talk about the research design, that if the research will be conducted, so what design we are going to follow. Then we are going to talk about the sample, tentative sample. So we can provide the sampling method also, and the information about the sample also. Then what will be the sources of data? That will be a primary source, or that will be a secondary source, that we have to provide the information about the sources of information also, sources of data also. If it is a primary data source, then what instrument we are going to use. So this description we have to provide under the methodology section, that the data will be collected through either questionnaire or on interview basis or some observation basis, and it is widely accepted source in the science field also. And if it is secondary, so what sources we are going to use to collect the secondary data source. So under the methodology, all these things are there about the sample and sampling method, researcher design, maybe the instrument to collect the data, and the study period. And apart from that, the analysis technique also, that what technique we are going to apply to analyze the data. Because we are talking about the hypothesis also, and hypothesis can be tested for its existence on the basis of analysis. After methodology, the next very important part of the research proposal is expected outcome and implication. In the expected outcome, when we are going to start a research and when we are writing the research proposal, so something should be there in our mind, that where that research can go. Okay, for example, if we are talking about our field, so suppose if I'm writing a proposal which is related to the e-governance and what is the impact of e-governance on the economy and growth and development of the economy. So in this, we have to see that what may be the expected outcome of this research. So before starting the research, there should be some idea about the expected outcome, that if we will conduct the research, what kind of outcome we can face, what kind of outcome we can get. So this is also very important thing, that when we are writing the research proposal, so we have to write about the expected outcome of the research also, that after conducting the research, what can be the expected outcome. Then implication. This is also a very important thing that we have to give in our research proposal, that after the conduct of the research, how this research will be beneficial for the different users. In this, we can talk about the implication for the society, that what are the benefit of what may be the benefit of research for the society, what may be the benefit of the research for the policymaker also, that if the research will be conducted, so what can be the what would be the benefit for the policymaker. In that way, we can include the various stakeholder also in the form of future researchers, and you can say, if it is something which is related to marketing, that consumer. Okay, so that stakeholder we can also include in this. So the main component under this category is society, policymaker, researchers, and stakeholders. So we have to provide the implication for these group. In the research proposal, we should also provide the estimated budget. Generally, when we are following the guidelines of the various funding organizations, so while giving the call for the proposal, they are providing the time period also. For example, if it is a short proposal, short call for the proposal, so the time may be related to 6 months to 1 year. It may be for long term also, like 2 years and 3 years. So we have to see, and accordingly we have to provide the time frame. Estimated time frame means in this we have to divide all our research activities according to that time frame. For example, if the time period is 6 months, so how we are looking for the completion of the project means in 1 month, what is our target? Whether we will complete the review literature or we will design our questionnaire in second month, whether we can complete our whole data collection in the third month, whether we can complete our whole analysis in fourth month, whether we can write our all chapters, and last month we can finalize the chapters and we can submit the report. So in that way, somewhere we have to devote our time so that we can provide a roadmap that how we can complete the project in different time frame. If it is 2 years, so we have to utilize all the 2 years, all these 24 months, and we have to provide a kind of chart that this month, by this month, we can complete this, and by this month, we can complete this activity of research. In the same way, for the research proposal, in order to conduct the research, we require fund also. So estimated budget, that what amount is needed to conduct the research. So this amount is to be divided into different category also. And the first category, you can say that in order to conduct the proposal, in order to conduct the research, whether we require the research staff. So we have to provide estimated details. And in this, we have to see that what are the things which are given under the call of the proposal. For example, research staff. So how many research staff we can get according to the guidelines? What the amount monthly remuneration we can pay to the research staff? And what is the maximum month up to which we can pay the remuneration to the research staff? So research staff is there. So we can provide the estimated budget for the research staff. Second is, in order to purchase the equipment, how much funds are required? So that we have to also provide in the budget. That suppose in order to conduct the research, we require laptop, we require printer, we require hard disk and other equipment also. So that we have to provide the information, the financial need in terms of budget. So the first heading is for research staff. Second need we have to provide for the equipment. Third, we have to provide for the in order to collect the data from the primary sources. So there will be involvement of travel expenses. So when anyone who research staff or even the principal investigator or co-investigator, when they will go for the data collection. So in that way, some expenditure will be there on the travel, accommodation, and fooding and other things. So in this travel expenses, how much expenditure you are looking that will be spent? Okay, so this is also another head where you can provide the amount. Another is miscellaneous. Miscellaneous means when you are going to publish the report, or some other expenses are also there which are not coming under these head of research staff and equipment and travel. So that things you can put on in this other expenses. The same thing may be differ from research agency to research agency, but ultimately the budget is moving around these things. Okay, so at the time of writing the research proposal, we have to provide the estimated budget also and the time frame for the completion of the project also. Then details of the primary investigator, co-investigator, internal and external collaborators. So whether there is any involvement of academicians from your institution, from other institution, that detail we have to provide. And is there any involvement of industry also? That collaboration we have to define that what are the details of investigator, primary and co, and internal and external collaborator. And finally the references. So these are the key parts of the research proposal. So these next slide, here you can see the common problems and solution. And we divided these common problems and solution related to the different main stages of the research proposal. For example, if you are going to choose a research topic, so what are the common problems that you can face? First is lack of ideas here. you are having lack of ideas or too many ideas. Then ideas not feasible to research or that will not add to existing knowledge. When we are going to give a research proposal, so we have to see that research it should lead for the innovation or invention, or it should add some it should lead to addition in the existing stock of knowledge. So these two things are very important. The very first is that it should lead for the innovation, some new things. Through your research, you are going to make some invention, you are going to go for the innovation. Second thing is that if it is not related to new things, so it should go for addition of existing stock of knowledge in that particular related field. If the same thing which is already conducted, if you are going to do the same thing, so again, there will be no contribution of your research. When we are going to choose a topic, generally these two common problems are there: the lack of idea or too many ideas, or ideas not feasible to research, or that will not add to existing knowledge. We have to, certain things are there that we have to remember this thing while we are choosing the research topic. First is keep an open mind. Keep an open mind means that we are going to involve maximum parties, maximum stakeholders in our research. Okay, it should not be closed end, it should be open end. Read recommendation for further studies. Means when you are going to see the other studies which are already conducted, you can see that part of the portion of research where the further recommendation has been given to conduct the research. That is generally known as a further direction for the research. Generally, it is there for every research paper also and thesis also. Talk with experts and other knowledge people in the area. In order to finalize the research topic, you should identify some research expert who are having specialized knowledge in that particular field, and you should talk to them that what area you can go for in that particular field. Then keep notes of possible topics well in advance. Consider potential for a novel contribution of a thesis developed around the topic. Then consider the feasibility of researching that topic. Consider how the topic chosen motivates you, and drawing mind map might be useful. Very important thing which is given in this among this point, that is consider how the topic chosen motivates you. We talked about the rationale of the study, and sometime in the research we provide the motivation of the research, motivation of the research. That what the factors which are motivating you to conduct the research. Generally, it is a part of introductory framework of the research. Okay, and this should be clear to the researcher that what are the motivation factors which are motivating you to conduct the research. So it should be clear when you are identifying the title and you are choosing the topic. Second is title. When you are going to finalize your title, generally the researcher faces some common problems, and it is related to too generic, vague, or long. There is no specification that what should be the length of the title for the research. Generally, it depends from research to research, and no specific rule is given. But ultimately, you should make a title that should not be vague, that should not be very long. Okay, and another problem in this field is it does not reflect the essence of the proposal. So, what we should remember while framing the title should be precise. It reflect upon the scope and the core of your proposal. Okay. So, when you are going to formulate and when you are going to finalize your title, it should reflect the whole idea about the study. This is very important thing. It should not be very long, it should not be very vague, and it should be precise in nature, and it should provide the whole idea about the research. Then again, when we are coming to the introductory aspect. So in this, the common problem generally deals with introduction is very confusing. It is complex in nature. It is overly long. It is not clear or not explicit about what the major problems or issue to research is. It is not clear. The identification of the problem or issue to the research too late in the next. Any reviewer who are going to start reading about your research proposal, so after the title, immediately he will read your introductory aspect, and the introduction will going to create a image in the mind of the reviewer. Okay, and it will play a very important role about your selection and rejection of the proposal. So generally we do some mistake while writing the introduction. We are putting the things which are not coordinating to each other. We are putting the things which are not providing the rationale and conceptualization about the study. We are writing the introduction where we are missing the motivation of the research also. We are making the introduction where the statement of problem is also missing. So somewhere we have to include all these items while we are writing the introduction. Then what the things we should keep in mind? We should focus, be concise, consider the impact of the first statement. The first statement is very important and it is going to create your value of the proposal in the mind of reviewer. So just consider the impact of first statement. Do not leave too long before introducing the major problem or issue to the research. Be clear about the novelty of and the rationale of the research, present the structure of the proposal, and rewrite the final draft at the end of the proposal. So this thing is very important, and generally if you see the good research paper, so they are providing the structure of the research paper also, that this particular section will deal with review literature, then third section will deal with the methodology, fourth section deal with the analysis and interpretation, and finally it will be followed by the conclusion. So similarly, you can apply the whole structure of the proposal also in the introduction section. Coordination, I already told you that when you are writing about the introduction, so every paragraph should be coordinated to each other. Okay, you just see that when you are going to read the story, so if everything is connected, then more interest will be there for the person who is reading this story. If some first paragraph is going to left, another paragraph is going to right, and these things are not coordinating to each other, it means that it is not going to create any interest in the mind of this listener and reader. So coordination is very important. And while doing this coordination, you have to write about the rationale also, motivation also, statement of problem also, the division of the structure of the proposal also. Okay, these things are very important to write in the introduction section. Literature review. Common problems are related to failure to identify key studies and concepts, lack of logical flow, insufficient explanation of the claims made, lack of integration of contributions on particular themes, lack of critical analysis, unclear definition of the gap in the knowledge, use of other authors' ideas without proper references, overuse of quotations, too much time reading before starting to write. And one of the things we can focus while doing the review literature, remember rigor and integrity, devote special attention to key articles, review articles, and be aware of ranking of journals. Then read with a purpose and take notes when reading, adopt a critical thinking, relate and contrast ideas and theories, support your statements, produce a structure to deliver the review in a unified and logical manner, conclude by clearing the gap in the field, and be precise and consistent citation, use time efficiently. When we are going to write a review literature, if we talk about the tradition patterns, so in the tradition pattern, we are just writing one paragraph on the review on the earlier studies conducted, and there is a no linking. We are doing the review for one study, we are changing the paragraph, then another paragraph we are writing about the other study. So there is a no linkage in this. That is a very traditional form of review. Right now we are doing the meta-analysis. Meta-analysis means that our study, we are going to define this study, we are going to categorize the studies already conducted into some dimension and parameter. For example, I started with the example of e-governance and economic development. So whatever the earlier key studies which are already conducted in this domain, so we have to categorize these studies into some important aspect. For example, it may be related to, you can say in the governance, the very important parameters are board composition, board characteristics, then audit characteristics, then you can say the risk committee. Okay, so on the basis of these parameters, we can divide a review. So what are the studies which are conducted in the field of board studies? So we can make a meta-analysis and we can club their findings, and we have to provide our review also related to that study. Okay, what is our opinion? Generally, most of the things are coming from the already published research paper. When you are doing this review, means objective, it is already given in the study. Hypothesis, it is already given in the study. Findings, it is already given your study. So when you are doing the review, so what is your contribution? Our contribution is that in the last after writing the objective methodology and finding, we have to provide our analysis or our opinion that whether we are having contradictory thinking about the result or whether we are in line with the result. And that we have to provide a support also if we are having a contradiction to the finding of that study. So we have to provide the support also for other studies that our contradiction is also supported by these studies because the results which are found in these studies that is similar to our thinking and our approach. So these things are very important when we are doing the review. Generally, we are doing the review and we are providing the things which are already available in the published paper. But the missing aspect is that we are not providing our view about that study. So key study, this is also very important thing that we have to find out the key studies related to the topic. When the students are coming to us, whether they are the MCOM students or PhD students, so we are advising them to go to only Scopus and Web of Science and try to find out the papers which are related to your topic so that you can consider these papers for the review literature. So key studies is very important. Even when you are going to search on the Google, you will find so many papers. And some papers will be in fake journals, some papers will be in the reputed journal. So how we can differentiate? This is very important thing. So we are generally advising them to download a paper from the reputed publishers like Science Direct, Taylor and Francis, Springer, Scopus database is there, Web of Science database is there. So you have to find out the key papers which are having publication in good journals. Then definition, problems and aims of the research. So in this also, generally definitions of problems and aims of the research. So in this, generally there are some areas where the common problems are there, and that area is lack of explicit link with the literature and with the gap identified, and lack of detail and justification, and not feasible. What the things we have to keep in mind when we are defining the problem and aims of the research, objectives of the research? Draw on the review and on the gap identified, be precise and detailed, be realistic, consider the time and the resources you have available. So the review literature, when you are going to complete your review literature, the very next thing is to find out the research gap and frame your objectives. So as I already told you, that research gap is something which can differentiate your study from the existing study. If you are going to conduct the same study, so there will be no relevance and there will be no value addition for that study. So when we are writing the research proposal, at the same time, after review literature, we have to provide the research gap. We have to provide the ultimate definition of the problem, and in line with the research question, we have to frame the R gap. In line to the research gap, we have to frame our objective. And in line to the objective, we have to frame our hypothesis also. So there should be a connectivity between among these items. If you are having two research questions, for these two research questions, you have to find out the gap. And on the basis of these 2 points of gap, you have to frame your objective and then you have to frame your hypothesis. And the same thing will continue to your later part of research also. Methodology. So common mistakes are related to not properly justified, not suited to aims of research and nature of research problem, not detailed. So in the research proposal, generally, suppose we are talking about the sample size. So at the time of proposal, we cannot exactly tell that what would be the sample size, exact sample size. So in the methodology, we are talking about the tentative things. Design, you are clear at the time of writing the proposal that this design you are going to follow. Maybe you are aware about the data sources also, primary data, secondary data, but suppose it is a primary data. So what statement you will include in your questionnaire? Then if you are going to conduct a interview, so what the points you are going to take into consideration? So this is not clear at this stage. When you will develop your methodology, when you will conduct your research, at that time you can formulate your questionnaire. Then you can go for pilot study. Then you can go for data collection. So generally, so many things in methodology section at the time of writing research proposal, some things are tentative, some things are defined. So common problems are these. And the things that we have to keep in mind: show appropriateness of methodological decisions to aim research and nature of the problem. Consider consistency between the methodological decisions and your assumptions. Be complete in justifying your cases and consider the methods for collecting, analyzing, and interpreting the findings. I think so many participants are there, those who are having mathematics background, statistics background. So I think you are better clear about this thing, that when we are going to apply the technique, so it should be suited to your objective. It should be suited to your object hypothesis also. If I'm making a hypothesis that there is a no significant impact of e-governance practices on the growth and development of the economy, so this is showing that for this, we are going to evaluate the impact. So in order to measure the impact, it's better to go for regression analysis. Okay, if we are going to check the significant difference between two items, so based upon the assumptions, we can go for the
Please, we cannot see the presentation.
Yes, please. Anyone who want to say something?
Your presentation is invisible.
It's not visible. Okay.
Yeah, we can't see the presentation. We can't see the slides. Yeah, we can see now.
Okay, thank you. So when we are going to develop a methodology and when we are going to talk about the analysis techniques, so it should be again in line with your hypothesis, exactly what you want to test. Because hypothesis means the statement that we are going to test for its existence, whether it is existing or not existing. So for impact assessment, the better technique is regression analysis. If we want to check the significant difference between two items, we can go for t-test. Depending upon the situation, it may be a pair sample t-test, it may be an independent sample t-test. If items are more than two, then we can go for ANOVA. So again, you just see that what is the requirement, and according to the requirement, we have to select the technique also. Next section is bibliography and references. So in a very short manner, if you want to know and if you want to check the quality of the research proposal, so as a reviewer, generally reviewers start with the bibliography and references. So whether it is complete or not, whether it is consistent or not, whether the one kind of referencing style is followed or you are using multiple referencing style, because APA is also there, ML is also there, CML is also there. So if in one reference you are following APA, in another reference you are following CML, in another you are using different kind of referencing style. So generally it provides the basic idea that what is the value and what is the worth of the research proposal. So generally reviewers do this thing and they generally start with the references and bibliography. And generally we give less time to this section. Okay, when we are writing the research proposal and paper also, we are giving less time to this section. But this is very important section, and so many reviewers, they start with this section, that how much hard work has been done in this section. So references listed but not cited. This is a very common problem. You are citing some study, but you are not giving the reference. You are giving the reference, but you are not citing this in your text. So this is very main problem. Inconsistencies in citing. Different manuals you are using, APA, CML, and other referencing style. What are things we should consider? So check all your entities in the text and see if you have listed them all in the bibliography section. Then check if your entries are complete. Means if we are following APA, we start with the author name, then year, then title, then publisher name in italic, then volume number, issue number, page number, and in addition to this, we generally provide the DOI number also. So in that way, the reference should be complete for all. If you are having 20 references, it should be complete in that format. It should not be like this, that in one you are not having volume number, issue number, and in other references you are having this. So we have to see this thing. For consistency, use bibliographical software tools such as EndNote. In Word, MS Word, option for referencing is there, bibliography is there. In different softwares are also there, Mendeley, so you can use the Mendeley also, and even in the Google Scholar also, you can put the title and it will provide you the reference in different manuals. Finally, overall, so what we need to see, we have to remember in rigor and integrity. We have to be consistent also while writing the research proposal. Support your claims with the earlier review. relate ideas and arguments. There should be a connectedness, have an open mind and welcome criticism, think critically, remember writing skills, remember organizational skills, and start soon and rewrite several drafts. And one draft, I think, cannot achieve that quality level which is required to get the sanction proposal. So after drafting the research proposal, you have to redraft this. You have to make several drafts and you have to finalize your proposal after going through several drafts. So generally, when we are going to submit the proposal, the common mistake we generally do that before the one day of the last day of the submission, we complete our first draft and immediately we submit. But don't do this practice. Try to complete your first draft of the research proposal and take some time and try to redraft and read your content. Mistake overall, if we talk about lack of justification and unfounded claims, lack of focus, lack of integration of ideas and arguments, lack of critical analysis, and problem with citation. Now, in this section, we will talk about the research and development statistics in international context. Here in the chart, you can see that the research and development expenditure as a percentage of GDP by continents. So this is RE, this RDE, okay, research and development expenditure as a percentage of GDP. So you can say that comparisons are given for 2010 and 11, 15, 16, and 17, 18. If we see this R&D expenditure to GDP ratio throughout the world, it was 1.62 in 2010 and 11. Then it increased to 1.69 in 2015-16. And then it very slight increases there, that is 1.72 in 2017-18. So if we talk about the whole world GDP, so we are incurring 1.72% of that GDP to the research. Continent-wise, the higher proportion is there in the Northern America. And if we see the aspect of Asia, so this is near to the world figure, global figure, 1.43 in 2010-11, slight increase in 2015-16, 1.57, and right in 2017-18, it is 1.61% of the overall GDP. We need to increase this amount because through the research and development expenditure, we can expect some more innovation, we can conduct more research, and definitely we can get some good result also. Country-wise, you can see the GEDR, expenditure on R&D as a percentage of GDP. So this is taken from OECD and database related, this database is given in 2022. Israel, we talk about the GERD ratio. In Israel, it is near to 5.5%, highest among the selected countries. If we talk about India, this is only 0.67%, near to 0.7. Okay, that is the latest GERD, expenditure on R&D to GDP ratio. So in India, we are incurring only 0.7% of our total GDP on research and development activities. You can make a comparison with other country also. For example, highest for Israel and Korea is incurring near to 5%, maybe 4.8 or 4.7% like this. If we see to our neighboring country, who is the most highly competitive country to India, it is more than 2%. Okay, worldwide it is 1.8% like this. And we see the scenario of developed countries. So in USA, it is near to 3.5%. In UK, it is 1.8%. So this is a scenario of GERD, means gross expenditure on research and development as a percentage of GDP. So again, for India, there is a need to increase this ratio. Research funding for STEM higher education institution, top STEM. So STEIs across countries. You can see that top STEM research and development higher education institution across countries. In India, we have IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi. So these institutions are very prominent, and these are doing heavily research and researches in the field of STEM. Different institutions are also giving in different countries. Okay, in United Kingdom, you can see here University of Oxford, Cambridge, University College London. In USA, Johns Hopkins University, Michigan, Washington, Stanford University. If we talk about the top national funding research agency across countries, so in India, DST is there, DBT is there, CSIR, SERB, ICMR. You can see in other countries also which are providing funding opportunities. Different funding opportunity agencies are here country-wise, where you can get the funding opportunities. So in Israel, you can see Israel is a country which is incurring very high, which is having very high ratio of research and expenses, research and development expenses to GDP ratio. So here that LM is there, Israel Science Foundation is there. If we talk about our country, research and development statistics in Indian countries. So you can see the gross research and development expenses to GDP expenditure, total expenditure, it is coming from central government, private sector industry, it is coming from state sector also, it is coming from the public sector industry also, and it is coming from the higher education sector also. In this, the central government is contributing 43.7% of total research and development expenditure. State government is contributing 6.7%, higher education 8.8%, and public sector industry 4.4%, and private sector industry contributing 36.4%. This is the data as for 2020-21. Then R&D expenditure by select scientific agencies. So if we see this total R&D expenditure by select scientific agencies, so it is topped by DRDO, okay, followed by the DOS, DAE, ICAR, CSIR, DST, DVT, and ICMR. During the year of 2020 and 21, the 84% of the research and development expenditure incurred by the central government sources came from 12 major scientific agencies, and where among these 12 major scientific agencies, DRDO accounted for the maximum share of 30.7% of total R&D expenditure. Okay, followed by the different organizations. Now, if we talk about the extramural research and development project, the earlier slide was related to the R&D expenditure, total R&D expenditure. But this slide is giving you the information about the total extramural R&D projects which conducted in 2019-20 in different academic institutions. So here the lead was taken by DST. So total number of projects which were given by the different agencies and which is having the cost of 2,529 crore, and total projects were 4,076. So here the lead was taken by the DST, contributed for 1,400 crore of extramural project out of 2,529 crore of total grant, followed by DVT, then this Ministry of Electronics and IT. Okay, then NRE, DRDO, and different organizations are also here. So we can see that as far as the extramural research and development project opportunities are concerned, so the major opportunities were given by the DST in the year 2019-20. So as a researcher, and especially in the field of STEM, what the funding opportunities are available, in which form these funding opportunities are available. So you can see that these funding opportunities are available in the form of fellowships. It is available in the form of research grants. It is available in the form of entrepreneurship and innovation grants. Then collaborative grants are also there, which is further divided into two parts. One is international collaborative grant. Other is international exchange grant. In the exchange grant, there is a collaboration of research between two countries, academician of two countries, and there is exchange for some limited period also. That the one researcher will go to the other country where they are having the collaboration, and that researcher will come to your country, and in that way they will conduct the research. So this international exchange grant is also there, travel grant is there, meeting and event grants are there, awards and other grants and fellowship. So this PDF file is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So some of the examples we can see under content, which we discussed in the last slide. In the fellowship, you can find that there is a Raja Ramanna Fellowship, which is given by the DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. Okay, eligibility is given there that one of the objectives of the scheme is to support researcher in carrying out the R&D in the field of their choice and the interest of DAE, with a view to strengthen the nucleates programs of interest to DAE and non-DAE units. Another objective is that the second objective of the scheme is to enable studies. This PDF file is visible? Anyone can tell me that whether this PDF file is visible or PPT is going on?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, visible.
Visible. Okay. Okay. So another objective of this fellowship is that it's to enable the studies on policy issues in the nuclear arena with the objective of providing the government with detailed analysis as well as the feedback based on the informal discussion with the experts. As far as the support is concerned, so an honorarium of 1 lakh per month is provided. Okay, and a research support grant of 1,50,000 per year is available to fellow working on this first objective of the scheme. Duration is 3 years. Another fellowship is Tata Innovation Fellowship, and it is given by the DVT. So you can see the eligibility is also there, and this fellowship is especially in the research areas of healthcare, agriculture, environmental sciences, then life sciences and biotechnology. This fellowship is open for the Indian nationals residing in India who are below the age of 55 years as on the closing date of application. The applicant should have spent at least 5 years in the India before applying for the fellowship. Then applicant should possess a PhD degree in life science, agriculture, or veterinary science. Applicant must hold a regular permanent position in a university institution and organization. As far as the support is concerned, under this fellowship, amount of fellowship is 25,000 per month. And the contingency grant of 6 lakh per annum for meeting out the expenses of fellowship research project. Okay, that include consumables and implementation expenses of fellowship research project, etc. Duration is 3 years. Okay. Ramalinga Swami Re-Entry Fellowship is there, and majorly it is focusing on the life sciences and biotechnology and other related areas. The eligibility consists of PhD or MD or an equivalent degree with an outstanding record. Only Indian citizens can apply, and the age criteria is 45 years. As far as the support is concerned, the scheme provides a consolidated monthly remuneration of 1 lakh and house rent allowances HRA of 18,500 per month. The fellowship also provides the contingency grant of 10 lakh for first and second year and 7.5 lakh for third and fourth year and 5 lakh for fifth year. Duration of the fellowship is 5 years. Then Har Gobind Khurana Innovative Young Biotechnologist Award. It is provided by the DBT. Okay. Eligible criteria, age is 35 years and applications is a relaxation is also there for the women, people with disability and applicant fall into other different categories. Support, so this fellowship is having the 75,000 per month that will be provided to the awardee who do not have regular employment, and awardee with a regular employment or availing any other fellowship will receive a cash award of 1 lakh per year. Duration is 3 years. Likewise, you can see the senior and intermediate fellowship in basic biomedical research. This is also there, fellowship. I will share this file with you so you can see this condition also for eligibility. Then senior and intermediate fellowship in the clinical and public health research. It is provided by the DBT and Welcome Trust India Alliance. Sword Jayanti Fellowship Scheme provided by the DST, Department of Science and Technology. This is having the financial support fellowship of 25,000 per month and research grant of 5 lakh per annum by the DST. Duration is 5 years. Inspire Faculty Fellowship Scheme. It is also related to DST, and under this, PhD is required in the field of science, mathematics, engineering, pharmacy, medicines, and agriculture related subjects. So, in the PG, it requires 60%, and age criteria upper limit is 30. This lower limit, upper age limit is 32 years, and the relaxation is also available to the different category students and I think women also and PWD candidate also. Then publication is also required under this fellowship, and that should be related to highly reputed journals demonstrating the outstanding research potential of the candidate. As far as the support is concerned, the candidate will get the fellowship of 1,25,000 per month, and the research grant of 7 lakh every year for 5 years, provided to each successful candidate, including carry forward amount, if any. So the tenure is 5 years. Then Ramanujan Fellowship, DST serve, and it is available for all Indian scientists and engineers, and it covered the whole area of sciences. Age criteria is 40 years. Support is 1,35,000 per month, including HRA, and the the selected candidate will receive a research grant of 7 lakh per annum and 60,000 per annum as a overhead charges. And the tenure of that fellowship is 7 years. IBRO Return Home Fellowship. So it is specifically related to the neuroscience and brain research. And the eligibility is postdoctoral fellow who have the finished research training in the neurosciences, those willing to start their own laboratory, work independently, and scientists who are developing successful basic clinical research career in developed countries and wish to return to their country or origin or to a less developed country for personal and cultural reasons. A fellowship is 20,000 euro is provided, and duration, please contact the funding agency or visit for the duration. JC Bose National Fellowship provided by the SIR. So in this, the fellowship is 25,000 per month. In addition to the regular income, and the research grant of 15 lakh per annum and overhead of 1 lakh per annum to the host institution. Duration is 5 years. Power Fellowship is there. National Science Chair is there. Then second category is research grant. So in the research grant, we are having the research grant that is provided by the CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is specifically in the field of science and technology, including agriculture, engineering, and medicine. Eligibility: professor expert with a PhD in regular employment at university, they can apply for this grant. Support: so research grant of CSIR are intended mainly to supplement the research facilities available in the sponsoring institution. And it usually the amount sanctioned by the equipment or small and no graded post sanction, nor are funds provided. Tenure is 3 years for this grant. Then competitive research grant is there by DBT. Team science grant is there by DBT. Granted in a scheme by DHR. Life Sciences Research Board, DRDO, it is also providing a research grant. Women Scientist Scheme is there by this DST. Women Scientist Scheme B by DST. Research grant by FSP. Research grant early career, those who recently joined in the institution on a regular post. So this earlier scheme, career scheme is also there as a part of research grant. And in every institution, you may find that there is a research seed money, RSM, for the social science also and the science stream also. So recently the UGC increased this amount. Earlier it was 1,50,000 in social sciences and now it is increased to 3 lakh. So for newly joined faculty member, it is a research seed money. And for science stream earlier it was 3 lakh, but now I think it is increased to 5 lakh. Core research grant is there, provided by the SIR. Power research grant, startup research grant, scientific and useful profound research advancement by SIR. Another section is entrepreneurship and innovation grant. So here this bio incubators, nurturing entrepreneurship for scaling technologies, BIRAC. Biotechnology ignition grant by BIRAC. Promoting academic research conversion to enterprise by BIRAC. In this section, generally in the research grant, there is involvement of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship because industry connection is there. So in order to whatever the findings of research will be there, that can be implemented by the industries. So academic innovation research by BIRAC, contract research scheme by BIRAC, biotechnology industry partnership program, small business innovation research initiative by BIRAC, sustainable entrepreneurship and enterprises development fund by BIRAC. Next category is collaborative grant. The international collaborations are there. In the international collaborative grants, the Indo-German Fundamental Research Project on the Life Sciences, DBT, DFG, Indo-Australian Biotechnology Fund Collaborative Research Project, Indo-US Collaborative Vision Research Program, India Collaborative R&D Program, India-Japan Cooperative Science Program, Indo-Russian Joint Research Call for Proposal, IBRO Collaborative Research Grants, Collaborative Research Programs, then collaborative scientific research programs are there. You can see that various opportunities are there. And in this, we have two different divisions. Another is related to the international exchange grants. So in this, we have the Indo-US Professorship in Microbiology, DBSRC India Partnering Award, Research stays for the university academics and scientists. IBRO EPRC Exchange Fellowship, Jawaharlal Nehru Birth Centenary Visiting Fellowship, Research Fellowship Program, International Exchange Scheme by Royal Society, Fulbright Nehru Academic and Professional Excellence Fellowship, Fulbright Kalam Climate Fellowship. These fellowships are there. Apart from that, you can also get the travel grant for the research, for your research if you are going to travel to some specified place within your country or outside country. Generally, it is for outside country if you are doing the research, if you are conducting the research. So you may get the travel grant also from the sponsoring institution. So travel grant scheme is there by CSIR. Travel support scheme is there by DBT. International travel grant is there by IBRO. International travel scheme is there by SERV. Then meeting and event supports are also there. If any specific meeting is there, or if you are going to attend, you want to present your paper in any conference. Okay, so in that way you can get the meeting and support, event support also in the form of seminar, workshop, training schools, symposia grant scheme by CSIR, India EMBO lecture courses, meeting support by IBRO, assistance to professional bodies and seminar symposia by SERV, scientific meeting grants, small meeting grants, traveling fellowships, and under award category, we are having different award also for research. SH Global Research Award, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize, Innovation Award by DBT, Ramachandran National Bioscience Award for Career Development by DBT, then Janki Amal National Women Bioscientist Award for women, IBRO Early Career Award, Young Research Award, Women Excellence Award by SERV, SERV Science and Technology Award for Research, Technology Translation Award, TWAS, that by the World Academy of Sciences Award, Frederick William Wessels Research Award. These awards are also there. And in the last category, other grants and fellowships. Here we are having Going Global Partnership Grant by British Council, bilateral exchange of academicians by DART, Biotechnology Career Advancement and Reorientation Program, Clinical and Public Health Research Centers, Indo-Belgian Joint Networking Calls, Young Investigator Program by EMBO, Global Investigator Network, Young IBRO, Maternity Parenthood Grant, Indo-US Fellowship for Women in STEM, utilization of the scientific expertise of retired scientists. So these other grants are also there. I will share the file with you so you can see all the schemes, all the opportunities in depth. Finally, you can see that the current call for the proposals which are still open and you can apply according to the eligibility in different schemes. So on the DST, for DST, there is a different call for proposal. And so many schemes are there for continuous throughout the year. So you can apply anytime. And these are related to call for proposal under innovation and STEM demonstration. Call for application for Asian India Research Training Fellowship. Call for R&D proposal under Asian India Science Technology Cooperation Program. Abdul Kalam Technology Innovation National Fellowship, SERV Research Scientist Scheme. So these schemes are there, sponsored by DST throughout the year. Announcement for inviting technologies, innovation, idea for support under Asian India S&T Development Fund. And last is Wise Scope Fellowship. So for this, the last date is 31st January. I think it is already passed, but you can check once again. I think it is extended and the last date in the month of February. I think it is maybe 15 or 25th February 2024. So where the sponsoring organization is served. So these opportunities are there, which are existing throughout the year. Anytime you can apply in this opportunities, International Travel Grant, JC Bose National Fellowship, Ramanujan Fellowship, Seminar and Symposia, Serb Power Fellowship, and Visiting Advanced Joint Research Faculty. Others, for CSIR, you can see the Think Space Research Scholarship 2024, and for this, the last date is 16 February 2024. So through checking the eligibility, you can apply in this scheme of CSIR. For Virat is providing the opportunities. In Virat announces call for under proposal early translation accelerator, and it is for throughout the year. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So it is also providing the opportunity for startup accelerator for MEITY for production, innovation, development, and growth. And this is also ongoing, so you can apply. And IGSTC, Indo-German Science and Technology Center, it is providing the funding opportunity for women involvement in science and engineering research, WISER. And this opportunity is also for throughout the year. So this is from my side related to the topic. And if you have any query or any question related to the topic, now the session is open to the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, if you have any query, you may ask or you may type your question in the chat box. So, sir is waiting for your queries.
Participants, if you have any query, please you can ask in chat box. Thank you so much, Dhanraj sir, for the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.